Hi Prasad.
Hey Ayush, hi. Good morning.
Morning, morning. Welcome to Pragmatic.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your support.
Yeah, yeah. I think that you know that Neha is also joining the team, admissions team.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm just waiting for her to join in the session, and then we'll get started as soon as.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Sounds good.
The way that this session is scheduled, that we'll be going through the various offerings that we have, uh,
Okay.
a few processes that we and
Mm-hmm.
then a little introduction with the current team. They would be joining us around by 10:30, 10:45, and
Okay.
then we'll get back to giving you the access of all the things that we use on a regular basis, and
Sure.
that is where we will end, and then we'll schedule the whole week together. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Thanks.
perfect, perfect. Let's wait for Neha for a few minutes and join.
Sure. Sure.
Is there anything before that that you have for me that I can help you with?
No, I think I'm open to listen today. I think that's the best way to start, because curious to know the way the approach, what you guys have done, and also in terms of the offering, the differentiation. So I'll just make a note of that, and in the meanwhile, if I have questions, I'll definitely shoot.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, let's wait for Neha to join. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Prasad. Prasad, can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Perfect, perfect. I guess Neha is gonna take some time. She just made a call. She's
Sure. Okay.
meanwhile, we can get started with just browsing through the web page itself, and we'll just go through the various offerings that we have, and that's where we will start.
Okay.
I guess we have already covered over our last call that what are the things that we are into, and there's the kind of options that we have to make. I'm sharing
Okay.
the screen. I'll quickly get started from where we are.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Uh, Wait, hold on. Yes, I can. I can. I can.
Perfect. So yeah, so this is the landing page. It has various offerings. So here, someone can go through the courses. Of course, we had covered that there are three offerings, major offerings we make in terms of taking care of the ecosystem. We Our approach has the tagline itself says that we are into the domain where we are offering certain courses where we educate the folks in product management. Then we have a strong community presence in the form of pragmaticleaders.org, where folks come in and
Okay.
kind of share their challenges, their interact with each other, global ecosystem. The third platform is essentially our PM job board, which is at pragmaticleaders.org io/jobs. So that is where the third offering is there, which is essentially the job board that our folks join in, and these are exclusive jobs. We procure it from close to 15 global cities, essentially because job guarantee is offered only in India. So we focus for jobs from five major cities in India. But apart from India, like we said, that we are active in five other ecosystems, including Singapore in the Southeast Asia, London in the ecosystem in the UK, uh, in the US, three ecosystems in the East Coast, NY in the ecosystem, in the West Coast, SF in the ecosystem, and Austin in the ecosystem in the South. So that's the US ecosystem, and in Middle East we are present in Dubai in the ecosystem, and in Africa, Ghana in the ecosystem. So we procure jobs from all these places, and post it in here. Similarly, for the community, we have folks coming in. So this is for the online presence, where which is kind of a Quora or Reddit kind of platform where people come in and discuss their things. Offline, we have built communities in again all the five ecosystems apart from India, where folks come in and so generally driven by the community, and community leaders are selected and they organize few of the events in the major cities. And we are completely having an approach where the community leaders join in and organize events. Our digital team supports them for the demand and all kind of offline arrangements as well. And that is how we conduct the events to manage our communities offline. Coming back to the courses we started the academy with the basic offering called as bootcamp program. Bootcamp program is essentially for the early PMs and the folks who are transiting into product management. This is a very extensive, comprehensive course which will go through the details. So this is our major offering. Uh, Now another offering that we have recently introduced, which is for a little further specialized course for product managers who are either early product managers or are senior product managers. For them, we have something called as AI specialization for PMs. This is our second best offering. Third is for the folks who are either already into early stage PM jobs and they're looking to switch their industry or the employer or geography. So we have something called as product management interview bootcamp, and there is one more course which is the fourth offering, which is about analytics for PMs. So these are the four major offerings that we have as of now. So far, we have had four cohorts of bootcamp program, and fifth cohort is to be launched by mid of March, which is 16th of March. and similarly for AI and similarly for analytics courses. These are self-paced courses, which is interview bootcamp. Essentially, what it means that folks would come and sign up and get started with the course in their self-paced manner. There are add-ons for every other product, which will, when we are diving in all the courses, we'll get to know more. You all will get the chance to actually go through the course and try and understand that what are the various parts of the course in the coming week. So these are the basic offerings. Yeah, yeah. Let me just check if no Neha has joined in. Yeah. Hi Neha. Neha, can you hear us? Sarika, are you there? Hi Sarika. So I can see them, but I guess they're not able to. Okay, let's wait them for completely joining in. Yeah, so coming back to what we are doing here is these are the essential courses, uh, and then various details about the way that things operate in here. They have so if you click onto each of these courses, you'll be able to kind of get to know what are the various parts of the courses, how to join in, what is the admissions process, is it going to be like when the program runs through, what are the various parts of the program, including the learning, the execution side of it, getting them activated in the community in two forms. One is via the mentors, second is through a branding exercise around them, and finally the placement. In the placement, we have three parts: pre-placement, where they are prepared for it, resume curation, and as well as the interview simulation is done for them as per the mapping that's done with their preferences. And then placement happens where we have close to 600 plus employers in India who happen to look forward. We have a close tie with them, including various VC firms and like Times Internet and others, and they come and join us as a recruiter for two programs. One is called as the demo day, the other is called as the micro internship. Micro internship happen by after the sixth week into the program, and by 10th week into the program, the basic activities get started. So this is a little brief about the bootcamp program, and similar is the scenario for other bootcamp programs, including the AI for PM as well as analytics for PM. In interview bootcamp program, of course, we just give the post placement, pre placement, and placement module as a thing, and we focus largely on interacting with all kind of learners who register with us. So how do they register and how do they come into it? So we essentially use CRM for all kind of such activities. So in any of our digital presence, including the social media, including emails, including the registrations, everything. Here is where they come in. You can see there are close to 6,000 registration that has happened over the year, and for various needs and perspective that we need as per the rules and strategies that we have as per the designations, we would have various ways to approach them and interact with them. So this is gonna be activated for you both by Sarika and T, and they would be giving you the access soon onto this. Meanwhile, over the week, we will take some time to go through what the programs are like, how do we approach the registrants in terms of giving them a little awareness about all the kind of conversational counseling that we do for them, and then slowly walk them into the program. So we have come out with something called as PMIQ, which we essentially ask them to write an exam for. We are the only one in this domain who is actually kind of conducting any exam and then taking folks in. So that actually kind of brings us as one of the leader, where close to 500 to 700 folks register with us in any of the forms. So there are various forms, like let's say someone has applied for the program, someone has downloaded the courses, interacted with us in offline events, those kind of various lead generation channels are there, basis which we kind of give them all kind of material, and then kind of schedule interview calls, assess their LinkedIn profile or the resume, basis which we generate certain admission score, and basis which we rank them that who are the top 20 folks who we are going to take in a particular cohort. That has been our strategy for last 1 year's time. Now, going forward, we are going to, after C5, which starts by 16th of March, we will be discontinuing our cohort-based model, and we'll be launching our continuous learning model, where anyone can join in at any point of the month or the week, and they will be onboarded right then and there. They don't have to really wait for the next cohort like earlier. So let's say there was a cohort by November, and next cohort happened only by February, and the next cohort happens only by March. So they had to wait for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks time. We don't want to make them wait, and because the plans are accordingly aligned. So that is where we are going to shift on to um, from this model and come back to a continuous model, where essentially everything remains the same. Few of the parts of the program will change the way that they operate in, and basis that we will be taking this forward from the month of April, which is the coming month. Uh,
Mhm.
so that is there. So these were the brief about the way that we operated. We'll deep dive into the way that the rules are going to be taken care of. Let me just try and invite everyone else from the team and make a little introduction with everyone, and then continue with the role specific training. Make sense?
Sure. Yep. All right.
Yeah. So far, anything that has popped out which I can help.
Yeah, I mean, just a question around continuous learning. So, is it a live or is it a recorded session after April?
So, content-wise, everything remains the same. There would be so currently the learning happens in three formats. First is the pre-recorded videos and the self-paced learning modules, where they take their quizzes, submit the assignments in self-paced manner. So that is going to continue for the continuous enrollment module. Second is the weekly case study approach, where folks come in a particular cohort together after having prepared for the case studies over the week, and present it in a live session where it is mentored and monitored by the core support team as well as the lead instructor, which is again going to continue. But only thing, the format will change this time, because there is not going to be any cohort based study. So meaning, like earlier, 10 to 15 folks in a particular group who know each other will be joining together and working together for the week and presenting it in a live session. Instead of that,
Hmm.
this week in the continuous model, what would happen, that anyone who has already joined in the program last week or last month or last quarter, they can come together and enroll for that particular week and then work together. So only, instead of knowing the folks for let's say 2 months or 1 month, we will be knowing them only for a week's time. For that week, they will be working together for solving those case studies and presenting them in that particular week. So every week, or so let's say there are 15 case studies that we help them solve in 5 weeks time. So every week they will be coming in and registering that which case study do they want to solve this particular week, and all the folks who have registered for that particular set of case studies that week, they would be plugged into groups of two or three together, and then they will get a week's time to work together and then present it over the weekend. That would be the format.
Okay. Okay.
I
Great.
I hope I could clarify that.
Yeah. Sure.
Perfect,
You
perfect,
did.
perfect. Got it. Give me 2 minutes. I'll just invite the rest of the team, and then we'll do the introductions. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Hi, Prasad, Neha. Neha, can you hear me? Can you hear us now, Neha? Neha, you can use the chat room to respond if you can't hear us or if you have any questions which we can cover. We have just started with the introduction of various offerings that we have, which we are going to focus for next couple of months. If you have anything to ask, I guess you can hear us, but we can't hear you. But meanwhile, you can just type in the chat bot and we can pick up the questions from there. Okay. Uh, So meanwhile that happens, we'll just continue. Our team is going to join in for the introduction in a couple of minutes. Meanwhile that happens, let me just quickly walk you through the various tools that we use in order to keep ourselves sane and get going. So I hope that you guys have got the access to Zoho. Your email ID must have made. We use Zoho Mail for all kind of mail collaborations. Generally, we do not use
Hmm.
email for internal collaborations. We use a chat platform which has various channels. It's like a Slack kind of platform. It's an offering by
Okay.
Zoho. It's called as Click. Click.zoho. So here you would see various channels, which is admissions, admissions per the cohort, accounts, marketing. These kind of channels are there, which you can join in. We have a virtual water cooler as well, where you can share all kind of information about yourself or casually interact with everyone else. So this is going to be our chat-based interaction tool. This would be our email-based interaction tool, where again similarly there are various channels where recruitments, accounts, support, admissions. These are the various flows that where you would find all kind of emails that you're part of and your personal inbox as well. So that would be activated for you. There are a couple of task management uh, uh, platforms that we are going to use. It's called Sprints by Zoho. Zoho offers something called as sprints, which essentially is a project management. So anything, any let's say initiative that you're coming in, or you're part of any particular project or any initiative that you're doing. So let's say we are coming with scholarships, we are coming with ISA programs, we are coming up with. So you would see all kind of boards in here, and every board that you're part of you can actually see the kind of backlogs, the activities, epics and stories, who is responsible, all kind of collaboration, how many tasks you're done with, all kind of reports, timesheets, sweeps. So this is the platform which you're going to use for the task management and reporting kind of tool. uh, like I said, CRM, there would be three basic modules. There are n number of modules in CRM, if you would see. These are various modules. Majorly, admissions team is going to use only three modules very actively, which is leads, accounts, and deals. So we would be deep diving when it comes to train on the how to process the leads, how to manage the accounts, how to go about the deals and close them. So we'll cover that. This would be the basic overview of things. There are various parameters that you can arrange it in. If you could see, these would be various things as per your convenience. You would be selecting in various views and the parameters that you want to be on top of, and accordingly, you'll take a go at managing your leads for that week, for that day, for that month. Similar is for the accounts, and similar is for the deals. So this is where things would happen for us. Essentially, we would love to spend most of our time onto the CRM page, because all the kind of leads in any of the forms come in here, and this is where we spend most of our time in various formats when we are going on the training for the CRM, we would deep dive into that. So as of now, we are kind of 11 member strong team. So this academy was started by Talvinder Singh. We call him dearly as T. By September 2017, he started with this whole pursuit, and so we took close to 5 to 6 months time to come out with a particular format of the course, and then there was only one course that we were looking forward for. We figured out that there was a gap between the way that industry needs folks who are trained in a particular fashion and uh, the way that they are job ready, the way that they need certain mentorship and various other parts of the program. So we started only with offering something which is kind of a personal tutoring or personal mentoring kind of a platform with a small live session courses which was taken by T. Then over the time we figured out that why not to make it an academy, and then we moved on to recording all kind of lectures basis the kind of curriculum that we built. We interviewed close to 300 plus global product managers and came out with various editions of our curriculum. And finally, by April 2018, we started our first cohort, which had close to 23, 24 students who had enrolled. Essentially, close to 12 to 13 folks graduated back then. And over the time, in last complete 1 year, so first cohort was started by April 2018. Second cohort was done by August, which was close to 5 months time. In this 5 months, we kind of improved onto our program offerings, where it was just a live session and there was no recordings, no nothing was there. So we started with designing a kind of support system, recruiting folks who are experienced product managers who can provide the core support. So that was built in the first cohort, between first cohort and second cohort. In second cohort, we realized that there were other gaps which we could fill actually, which was making them not only job ready but actually helping them with a proper job support. So we came in with a placement department where we worked. I and T worked onto building a large base of employers who would like to interact with our academy learners and the ecosystem that we help them with. So that is where we started. By December, we had a complete placement department in place. Sarika joined us by November or so, and she is currently leading the placement department. She has worked for close to 3 to 4 months time. In last 3 to 4 months time, she has helped us to kind of get on top of the best of the employers and get them tied up with us. And that is where how we have positioned ourselves, that not only the job support is going to be provided, but there's something called as job guarantee, which was offered in cohort 3. And by cohort 3, we were very much confident that we are well placed and recognized into the ecosystem, and employers are actually valuing our learners pretty heavily basis the kind of course curriculum that we have designed, the kind of mentorship we provide them, the kind of placement preparation we give them to make them job ready and join, the kind of internships that we have given them, which gives them a live exposure to the work environment on various products, basis which now we have job guarantee in India, which is within 6 months of time. We would ensure that basis your career counseling and the pointers that we have agreed on your career path that we would be able to make you transit to, you would be transiting to that particular job within 6 months of time, with an extensive support from the instructor team as well as the careers team, which is an add-on for our bootcamp program currently at $1,000. That is there. So that was the move that we made after cohort 3. There were two other sides of the program that we have added in, which is called as Mentor Connect program and Industry Launch program. This happened in after cohort 3, where Mentor Connect program is essentially we try and map them So we, anyways, in cohort one as well had a certain number of mentors who happened to be global product leaders, and we invited them from Singapore, US, UK, India, all the other ecosystems that we are activated in. These are like highly reputed product management leaders, and they used to do the exclusive sessions with our learners, which are cohort students, as well as we had introduced something in the later half of the year called as product talks, which was actually not just for our learners, but essentially for the whole ecosystem that we support. So anyone and everyone can join in for those product talks. We did close to 30 sessions in last 5 months time, where we had invited phenomenal leaders globally, and they have taken taken sessions on various topics, and they've added huge value to our brand as Product Management Academy globally. So this was also done by, I guess, cohort three. So Piyush is responsible. Piyush Bansal is there in our team. He is the prominent guy who actually uh, takes care of all kind of event organization, be it online or offline. He helps us with getting in touch with the right folks. So INT, as of now, are kind of creating the list of the influencer product management leaders in our network, and we sent on the invitation and fix on the topics and invite them over. We do the couple of marketing activities around it and then go about it. This is the pattern that we follow for the online events like product talks. For the offline events, similarly, we have picked up from December onwards that we are doing a lot of offline events in India, and now in the coming quarter, we are planning to do community-led events in other geographies, including Singapore, London, and US. Uh, so these all activities are led by Piyush Bansal. He takes care of all kind of marketing events, uh, all kind of marketing activities that we do, including the ad campaigns, including various kind of uh, 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 promotions on social media or Google or any other activities which are marketing oriented, is taken care by Suhas Motwani. Has been with us in part-time capacity for a very long time, since the start of 2018 itself. But he joined us around by mid of the year, July onwards, as a full-time capacity, and now he is a very prominent member of the academy in terms of representing us in Bangalore and the ecosystem, and at the same time, globally in a digital capacity, he happens to be ecosystem. So that is Suhas Motwani for us. For any kind of marketing needs that the admissions team in our academy, we are actually sales driven kind of an academy, that the model that we have recently taken. So the idea would be that the admissions team would be coming out with various kind of activities that we want to do, and marketing team will help us spread them in the ecosystem. So we will need a close coordination with Piyush from the events team for organizing all kind of online and offline events. Similarly, for pushing any of the marketing campaigns that the admissions team has designed, be it scholarship announcement, be it the new cohort that we have designed. On the new course that we have designed and getting started with, we need an extensive support from marketing team, and that is where we would be interacting a lot with Suhas and Piyush in that terms. Coming to the admissions team, so far I have been leading the admissions team. Over time, we have created the way we have learned so much. Earlier, it was just first come first serve kind of thing, that whoever knows about us and interested in taking any of the programs come in and register with us. But now we have a full-fledged admissions process in place. We do it on site. When we are deep diving into the admissions training, we will get to know more about it. But right now, there is Pareen Bim. She is in Mumbai. She has joined in as an executive. She is currently playing the role of counselor. It's been close to 2 weeks time that she has joined us actually the whole month, I would say. But she is currently taking care of certain reads and she's trained last month, so she would be working with you too. Uh, and of course, Prasad is there in the event section. I am not sure if Neha can hear us now. Prasad, would you like to introduce yourself? I guess Talvinder, T, Suhas, everyone else is in here. Before we go ahead, do you want to introduce yourself once?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be a part of this growing academy and organization. Um, I, I have an overall experience of around 12 years in sales. I hail from Mangalore. It's a small town down in South. Recently got relocated from Bangalore. I was a part of one of the similar venture known as Institute of Product Leadership (IPL) shortly. It's a great. I had an interaction with Talvinder face to face, but it would be great to know everyone virtually today, and really excited and overwhelmed to be a part of this growing team, and hope I can contribute my best to take this to the next level, worldwide. Thanks.
Perfect, perfect. Welcome again, Prasad. Uh,
Thanks.
Neha, are you with us? Can you confirm? Can you unmute yourself once? I guess she's not in yet. So we'll take time. I guess everyone is here. T, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Uh,
Yeah.
so I was just
So Neha,
Prasad.
Neha is Neha is not audible, right? Can that be corrected?
Yeah, I'll just coordinate. Meanwhile, I have introduced Prasad with marketing team and the events. Maybe you can introduce with Sonia and Sarika once, please.
Sure. So Prashad and Neha, Neha, if you can hear me, just put a chat. Just say hi on the chat. Welcome, Prashad. Finally, we are working together. We had a fun chat.
Great. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Of course.
it's been some
Yep.
time, but all's well that starts well.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Most welcome to the organization. So there is, I think, Ayush has already described the people involved. Hi, Neha.
Mhm.
You are not audible, Neha. Please check your mic. Um, so there's Suhas, there's Simrat, and there's Piyush. All three of them take care of marketing. They have their own well-defined roles in within marketing, but they are the ones on the marketing side of things who you're going to working with. Ayush, you have
Mhm.
already been touch with. Sarika is somebody who takes care of career paths and career outcomes for our students. I'm sure you have already interacted with her quite often. Um right? Neha is going to be your partner in crime along with Pareen. Pareen has not joined in. Not sure where she is, but yeah, there's Pareen as well. Um, yeah, so there's Pareen as well, and Sonia has not joined in. She is having some network issue. So Sonia takes care of the course outcomes as well as course creation. We don't call courses, we call it learning products. So she takes care of learning products effectively, the creation as well as execution of them. Yeah.
Sure.
So most welcome. I think today you're going to be spending decent amount of time just understanding the lay of the land. Uh,
Mhm.
what courses do we have? What exactly are we doing? What's our theory? What's our approach, etc. And then I think Ayush will take you through the CRM, the systems, the tools that we use. I hope you have access to Click now, Click, Mail, and CRM. I
Yes,
guess.
I do. I do. I do.
Okay, great. So So I think the entire onboarding is divided into three parts. Oh, no, sorry, I went over. So Has, Simrit, Sarika, Piyush, why don't all of you just introduce yourself? I'm sorry, I just jumped the gun.
Sorry, hi Prasad, hi Neha, welcome to the team.
Thanks.
So as I had head of marketing as Ayush and T mentioned earlier, and
Uh,
yeah, do hit me up in case. Let's catch up probably after this call once you guys are on board. Would love to catch up with you
sure.
guys. Yeah.
Absolutely.
आयुष can you give everybody webcam access? आज सबका onboarding है तो सबकी शक्लें दिख जाए अच्छा रहता है. Putting a name to the face is always good.
Sure, sure. Just doing it.
Yeah.
Can you guys try once?
Hi. Oh, sorry. Just wanted to welcome. Hi, Sonia this side. Sorry, you've joined in a little late, some network issues. But welcome to the team, guys.
Hey, hi, Sonia.
Yeah. So Sonia, I've already done the introduction in your absence, so they know what you do. But it is always good to just talk about what do you do and how the interactions will happen. Like what kind of interactions will happen. Where can they fetch you? Like, Sonia?
I got dropped, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she has terrible connection. So anyway, guys, so please introduce and बताओ कि क्या करते हो and how can you help the new incoming folks? Yeah.
Before that, I guess Neha is back. I guess Neha, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you hear me?
We
Yes, yes.
can hear you. You can take a minute and introduce yourself with the team, and I hope you have been introduced with everyone. So we'll take it from there. Yeah.
Yeah, hi everyone. I have 5 years of experience in various field of HR, and now this is a new field for me because obviously I've never been part of an academic role. So I just hope I'll be able to add and contribute value to the organization, and I'm happy to be part of the team.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Here as well.
Yeah. Simrit,
Go ahead, guys. Yeah.
Piyush.
Hello, hi Prashant and Neha. Simran this side, and
Hi.
I am from the marketing team, and I handle the social media mainly. So, any help you want, I can help you in that sector.
So
Okay.
admission team would need a lot of help from the marketing team, which includes Piyush, Sohas, and Simrit as of now. Simrit is going to help us a lot on the kind of content creation side of it as of now. He's an expert of creating various kind of digital, so including the text, video, as well as the picture-based content for us. He's been phenomenal in taking care of all our social media handles and the campaigns that the marketing team kind of drives in terms of the events that we conduct, in terms of the various of course offering or promotional things that SOAS designs. So yes, for anything that you need, Sumit is the guy to go for creation of any kind of promotional content. Yes.
Yep. Awesome. Piyush,
Piyush, are you with
uh,
us?
Ayush, can you give the webcam access?
It's on. I guess everyone has that access.
I no, actually, it's not there. You need to give each one. Piyush, we can't hear you. You need to give each one webcam access. I also don't have. You have to click on the webcam video wala button and then now it is. At least for me, it is activated now.
Yeah, yeah. Try once, please, everyone.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with
Yes.
I think screens, you कहीं पे नहीं कहीं कहीं पे निशान हो जाता है. हाँ. Yeah, Simrit. Sorry, Piyush, we can't hear you. Sorry. Okay. Sarika, you go ahead. I think जिसका issue है so कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Okay, Piyush is here. Prashad and Neha, we would love to see you as well. You guys have access.
Uh,
Piyush, go ahead.
No, Piyush, we can't hear you. Try once more.
Your headphones.
Neha,
Yeah.
Prasad, please switch on your cam, please.
yeah, just 1 second.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hi Neha and Prasad. I'm Piyush and I'm handling community here. I'm handling all the online and offline community activities, including events, webinars, and all the online and offline activities. So, where can I help you? I can help you in in getting these activities at Mangaluru, at Bangalore, and at your places.
So
Okay.
has been phenomenal. Like I said, that in conducting all kind of online events, we had a series called as Product Talks, where we invite global product leaders and interact with the ecosystems and like all kind of management ecosystem that we have activated so far in all the geographies, as well as he has been the guy behind launching all the other courses, including the learning product teams, marketing teams, and right now he is leading the community expansion, where the idea is to build community in all five ecosystem. The aim is to have 45 cities activated in 3 months of time and have plethora of events coming in and which are going to be community led. So that is where he is. The admissions team will need extensive communications to do with the marketing team as well as the offline teams, because offline events has been a good kind of lead source for us, where the conversions happen very often and very smoothly. So Piyush is the guy for all kind of leads that you would need to get activated, because he interacts with them firsthand and he has all kind of data about all kind of event attendees as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. So I think just to add to that, so Prashad and Neha largely will be working with Piyush for to plan the local events. We are building a very large community network. Uh, in this month, we're going to go live in about 7 cities, I suppose.
Yeah.
About 7 cities, I think, and next month we plan to take it to 20 cities. I'm talking about globally. So if we see, and if you want to activate a particular city or a particular course, um, having these kind of events and having this kind of awareness in different cities is going to be very, very critical. So you might get involved in the planning phase as well, or you might request that, hey, we are seeing a lot of interest from so and so city. Let's say, for example, Hyderabad is showing a lot of interest. Can we do some local activity there? And then you can go around. Then you can help Piyush plan it better. And once the event happens, you also need to figure out a way to collect the data. I mean, we do have certain processes to collect the data, but putting them into actionable data. That is, after the event is done, what should we do with those leads, those people who attended? How do we engage them? How do we relate to them? How do we, get them to, get them to buy our course or get them to, join our course? So that is completely in the admissions team's domain. पीयूष का काम खत्म हो जाए जहां पे उसने लीड बना के आपको दे दिया, वहां पे उसका काम खत्म हो जाता है.
Right.
ठीक है. So that's the story about Piyush. Simrit की जरूरत पड़ेगी आप लोग को for creating the content. For example, if you want to activate certain kind of, let's say you want to do a scholarship quickly, or you want to announce, let's say last 10 seats are remaining for, let's say, I don't know, AI course, and you want it to be shipped quickly, then Simrit is your go-to guy, right? कि वो फटाफट post मार पाएगा on our social media channels, plus अगर आपको साथ में emails भी करवाने हैं, then actually emails आप खुद से कर लोगे. I mean, social media is something that Simrit is your go-to person, whether it's about creating the post or whatever. And Suhas is in general to plan. Suhas will help you in planning anything, any kind of marketing outreach that you want to create. So there are different kind of marketing outreach, right? So one is purely for awareness, for example. Okay, Prashad is mute yourself like a. It's horrible to hear your own voice, right? Yeah, so Suhas is going to help you for any kind of marketing outreach. Now, marketing outreach are of all kinds. There are outreaches which are purely for awareness, for spreading awareness, and then there are marketing outreaches which are designed to evoke decisions or actions, right? So typically, you will not be bothered about awareness mostly, unless you are saying that we are not getting quality leads in, let's say, in for a particular course, or the leads that we have received are bad. They are not interested in the course actually that much. They're too much in a very, they're not in the decision making phase, they're in the awareness phase. So then Suhas is your go-to guy to abuse. uh, uh, the right, and if you're getting good leads or if you're not getting enough leads, again Suhas is your go-to guy to abuse. Right? And if you're getting good leads and you're getting enough leads that you are not getting sleep, then again, Suhas is the go-to guy to abuse. Okay? Uh, yeah, don't abuse him much. He's in Bangalore, so if you need it. Okay.
If it's
Right.
not happening, I am the go-to guy. You can come and we can.
आयुष तो मतलब दिल्ली में है तो फिर जो करना कर लो उसके साथ में it's okay. Yeah. So okay. So Ayush, Neha, Prashad, Pareen, and Gagan, all of you constitute the admissions team. Suha, Simrit, Piyush constitute the marketing team. I am 50% on the marketing side and 50% on the admission side. तो मेरे को अब मेरा वो दो थे ना बचपन में दूध भात है वो है. I play on both the teams. Okay, and Sarika and Sonia का आपको already पता है. So that's the team for all of you. Any questions? Anything that you would like to ask? Doubts? Anything?
Prasad, Neha.
No, I think I'm good for now. So
Great. Okay, so Piyush, Simrit, Suhas, you can get back to the sprint planning. Yeah. And Sarika, Sonia, आप लोग भी लग सकते हो. हम लोग थोड़ा बातें करते हैं.
Sure. All right.
Thank you all. Thank you everybody for joining in. Yeah.
Thank you and welcome again, guys. Look forward to working with you guys.
thanks, Sarika. Absolutely, thank you.
Take care. Sarika, we can't hear you. Actually, it was Sonia thi.
That's okay. It can be confusing in the beginning.
No worries.
Sarika, you're not.
Sarika, you're not audible. यार ये आज ही क्यों हो रहा है गोरू ट्रेनिंग में मतलब इतना इतना पंगा तो नहीं होता है कभी कभी होता है लेकिन it's not usually
मेरे
that problem.
सिस्टम से एक्चुअली लैपटॉप से गो टू ट्रेनिंग चालू ही नहीं हो रहा था. I thought it was some network trouble, but I also had a problem. So maybe it is the go to training session also.
Maybe it's today because usually होता नहीं. ठीक है. Okay, so admission team will continue and Sarika, Sonia, thank you so much for joining in. We will continue from here.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye. Yeah. So I think Ayush, I would just like to spend like half an hour. I mean, you stay there. Just that I would like to speak, like just discuss few things.
Yeah.
I'm also checking with Pareen what happened to her.
Yeah.
Usually she. Okay. Just a second, guys. I'm just calling up Pareen. I would like her to join as well. Uska internet.
Meanwhile, Neha, are you there?
Yeah, I'm saying I've missed initial part because I couldn't hear you, and then there's a lot of login logout issues. So the initial things that actually I'm not able to gauge it.
No.
So yeah, that is what has happened.
Yeah, I'll just quickly brief you what has been covered. So actually,
Yeah, that'll be nice because I've missed the introduction part and everything initially. So you have to repeat it again. I'm sorry about it, but I think there was this
We are
network.
responding to questions. We'll share the link with you, but I'll just quickly brief you what has been covered. So I walked
Correct.
Prasad with various offerings that we have, essentially the top core prominent offerings that we have, which is Pragmatic Leaders for Bootcamp program. Uh, is AI for PM. Third is Analytics for PM, and fourth is Interview Bootcamp program. So these are the four prominent course offerings. There is a community platform which I walked Prasad through it, and there is a PM job board platform for the ecosystem. So this on the offline side, this has been covered. I've walked in with the tools that we use. So there is the communication tool called as Click, which is by Zoho, which we are going to use extensively. There are various channels that we're going to be part
It's
of.
called a Click, is it?
Yeah.
Communication
Yeah,
tool.
So, so Sarika has created the login ID for you. Once you activate your Zoho account, you will be able to access all these Zoho offerings. So essentially, Zoho gives
Okay.
empowers us like in multiple ways. We use sprints as a platform for the all kind of task management with your team and for yourself. There is planning which is by Zoho. So not only work for the
Ayush, Ayush,
Ayush,
I'm
I
sorry.
can't hear you. There's some. Yeah.
I'm just jumping. Sorry, Ayush, can you give me the presenter access?
yeah. Can you check once, Steve?
Yeah, I received it. 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'll just quickly take over from here because I think just describing the names will not be enough. वो थोड़ा सा भूल जाते हैं. So, right. So there are a few things that we have to, as part of the onboarding, there are a few things that we need to talk about. Number one is simply the whys. So which is why TL, why each of our course, and then why should we exist, why should we sustain. Okay, each of these things are important, and then comes here, how do we do X. Okay, so we're going to cover few of these, each of these pointers. So why pragmatic leaders? Very simply because uh, despite the presence of so many alternate institutes in higher education, I'm talking about all the institutes, whether it's colleges, the mainstream colleges who have exec education programs now, or I'm talking about upgrades of the world or Udacities of the world or the IPLs of the world. Despite all of them, I feel that the core is missing in most of them. The core is creating such professionals who can get the ground running, who can, you know, who can hit the ground running, who can, who have been trained in the right fashion. That the day they join, they are good. They have covered everything, and they are good to immediately kick off. This is the problem that I faced a lot of times when I was hiring people in OYO and for a whole bunch of my friends. That despite training, despite coming from, okay, there's a lot of Prashad and Neha. अपना mute कर लो अपने आप when you want to talk. So then feedback will be reduced. Okay. Yeah. So I was saying, so the problem that I faced was simply the quality of people who were coming in. Either that was too theoretical, or they had too shallow. Both of them are a problem. So I felt the need to solve this problem altogether and create a course or create a program. Actually, course is not the right description. 1 second. Hello. Yeah, Pareen. Sorry, that was Pareen. I just wanted to confirm her internet is off. Okay, so that is the reason why we decided to build Pragmatic Leaders as a program, as an event, as a program, as a for the lack of a better term, institute, virtual institute, which will take care of all the higher ed training requirements. Now we started off with product management because two reasons. One, it's a niche program. Product management is a very niche course, so that allows us to do two things. One, it allows us to practice. It allows us to experiment a lot. It allows us to prepare a course, prepare a pedagogy that we can experiment with and like we can plan ahead with. If we can make people successful in product management, we can make them success. We can make people successful in any other domain, because it is notoriously difficult to crack into product management. It is very difficult. There is no direct degree or certificate that you can take and people will treat you as a product manager, right? So if you can make people product managers, you can make them anything else. That was the confidence that we had, and that is why we started off with product management. Um, right. So why should we exist when there is again Udacities and all of these people out there? We should exist because very simply, like I said earlier, almost all of these institutes are too theoretical based. But they will do one project and they will say that अब hands-on project करवाते हैं हम लोग इतना अच्छा करवाते हैं, this course we are amazing. But one project doesn't constitute learning. Right learning is when you're spending almost 70% of your time on application skills and 30% on knowledge. Jabki almost all of these courses, almost all these programs, whether it's college, koi bhi jo hai, almost all of them, the focus is a lot of theory, a lot of content. So 70% theory, or I would say 80% theory, and maybe 10, 20%, 30% practical. That is the problem. So that is the reason why we believe that we should exist, to create the right set of people who are pragmatically trained, who are pragmatic in their approach, and have a very solid knowledge base, but at the same time they can apply those concepts. Very critical. Why should we sustain? We can sustain because and sustenance is directly connected with differentiation, right? It's about differentiation. Can we have differentiation that is sustainable? We believe we do. Number one, our approach towards our course, like we will describe very soon, our courses are much more intense. They are heavy on cases and projects instead of theory. The theory is also heavy, but we ourselves say that, okay, theory is great, but theory is not going to get you a job. What is going to get you a job is actually case studies and projects. Okay, and that is our approach towards all our courses. Secondly, we have very active peer support, cohort support and stuff. So our cohorts come together, our peers come together, and we encourage it. We encourage it a lot, that people should come together, they should help each other and stuff, and that is happening. So when somebody has a mock, when somebody has an interview lined up, for example, the community automatically comes together and provides provide support. They do mock. I've seen mock interviews happening at 1 o'clock in the night. I've seen mocks like that happening. So that can be only possible if you have a peer-based community, network-based community. And a good reference point to this is most people join MBA, or one of the biggest factors in deciding to join an MBA is to gain network, right? And that is the same thing that we are also doing, providing network. Yeah. So apart from knowledge, support, career support, etc., we also provide network, because of which people stick around and they enjoy the communication that happens, the interactions that happen. Pareem, thoda late, but welcome. Pareem.
Hello, I've connected from my phone.
Yes, welcome. So Pareem, meet Prashad and Neha. They have joined today.
Hi.
Hi, Barry.
Hi.
Please, Pareen, quickly introduce yourself.
Uh, Hi, I'm working as admissions counselor, and I've been like a little older than you all, but let's see now.
Okay. A little older, you?
A little older than them. I meant
Okay.
like joining, guys.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks that she has joined. She's going through the training right now. And, yeah. Okay. So moving on. So why should we sustain? Simply because one, our pedagogy is very different. Number one, very different, and it's something that is proving results now. It's giving results now. Number one, and number two, our approach towards building the programs is different. I'll explain how. Our approach towards building programs is that we want to own the entire life cycle of a product manager or a particular career path. We are not just interested in making junior product managers, or let's say junior something. We're interested in making product managers and staying with them. Okay. Today it's product managers, tomorrow it could be any other career path, but the modus operandi is that we make a beginner's course, and then we start making all kind of advanced courses that are needed throughout his career path. So that once we acquire a customer, we are sticking with that person for the next many years to come. One of the biggest issues with education companies, or I should say education institutes, is the fact that it's a acquisition game. And acquisition game मतलब क्या? एक बार आपने एक स्टूडेंट को ले लिया, उसको जूनियर प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर बना दिया, उसके बाद there is no other course to support him, or junior software engineer बना दिया, उसको there is no course to support him, right? As he goes through his career path, where he's becoming junior software engineer to senior software engineer to engineering manager to, let's say, VP to CTO, you need more courses, you need more support to give him the right career path so that he can become that CTO that he's aspiring to be in years to come, right? That is our approach towards our program, towards how we are stitching together all our courses. And that's the reason why we started off with our beginner course. Then we launched our AI course, we launched our analytics course, and now we have also launched our interview course. Sure, Ayush, you can take the call when the time is right. I'll take another 15-20 minutes. How long will your call be?
Around 20 minutes.
Okay. So whenever call is done, you can join in. Yeah.
I'll join in. Yeah. See you guys. Yeah.
So you have to make me the organizer though, Ayush.
I will.
Yeah. So that is the approach that we have taken. That we are making courses which will stitch together, and somebody who comes in has more courses to take, or has a natural progression to take AI or some other course. In fact, some of our existing students have already shown interest in the AI and the analytics course that we are about to do. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. I can. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so that is the reason why we believe we will be able to sustain ourselves, because we have that long-term growth path. एक बार अगर student acquire कर लिया, we should not be training him in 3 months and asking him to leave. We should be, keeping him engaged with us. Okay, so this is all the whys and a lot of boring theory about who we are, what we do, etc. Let's jump to how do we do X. Point one is how do we communicate? So we use a tool called Click. That's kind of like Slack or WhatsApp or Flock, roughly like that. But it is for internal team communication. Mail, we use Zoho Mail. The account that you must have received by now from Sarika, that is a singular account that activates all of these tools, by the way. Okay. There is how do we do task management and collaboration. We use sprints. Okay. How do we do sales management, if I can call it? So we use CRM, which is Zoho CRM. Okay. Apart from this, there are a few other tools. I don't want to like overload all of you right now, but these are the these are the four tools that you need to get comfortable with immediately. Click and mail are for communication. Click is for internal communication. Mail is something that we use only for external communication because Click is not for external folks. Uh, Within the team, we hardly mail each other. We rarely mail each other. Okay. Only if, let's say, we receive some email and we have to forward it to someone, that's only when we use mail. Otherwise, all the communication happens on Click itself. Okay. Task management collaboration is sprints. What is sprints? We'll have a sprint dedicated training later, and CRM training will happen separately. Okay. So within this, how do we do X? Let's talk about the next thing, which is how exactly this admissions process happen. What really happens in it? So let me put it this way: how do we do X? So how do we acquire students? Yeah. So how do we acquire students? There are a few channels through which we acquire them. One is LinkedIn. So there is some automation that we have set up. Automation connects us with relevant leads. Okay. जिनसे हम लोग बातें करते हैं, जिनसे हम लोग figure out करते हैं whether they need the course or they don't need the course. So see, I will emphasize this again and again that the way we do sales or the way we do admissions is flipped. Okay. The idea is that they should buy from us instead of we sell to them. And this is a fundamental difference. This is a fundamental difference in approach and mindset that we need to bring to our admissions process. Okay. Everything that we are doing to ensure that the students come to us to get admissions instead of us reaching out to sell admissions. Even if we are reaching out to them, the communication, the tonality, everything has to be around helping the student out to make the right decision. The right decision may or may not be about taking the course, but the important is that we are helping them out in the right way. That is critical. Okay. ये fundamental difference आपको बैठाना होगा, and I hope that in the next few days as we correspond more, you will be able to exactly identify the difference in the tonality in the communication that we're sending across.
Can you please repeat? I couldn't hear your last line when you're talking about the student. How do we decide about the students? Can you just repeat it one more time? I couldn't really hear you properly.
Sure. So, so I'm saying the sales process or the admissions process is flipped. Okay. The way we do sales or the way we try to do admissions is that we want to generate enough interest in the student that they would like to buy the course, they would like to join the course instead of us selling to them. Us selling to them would basically mean we are calling them, we are telling them that, hey sir, तो आपने क्या सोचा कोर्स करना चाहते हो आप, right? And buying का मतलब क्या होता है कि the discussion is all about so I don't know. So Rahul, you had shown interest in the course and you had downloaded the syllabus. What are your career goals? Why do you want to take up a course?
Right.
Right. So we are not telling them about कि तुम course join करो. We are trying to figure out कि तुम्हें करना क्या है, क्यों करना है course. Okay. This entire approach is has different terms, different names. So you can actually do a lot of Google and you can read more about this. Some people call this relationship selling, relationship sales. Some people call this consultative sales. Okay. जैसे आप car showroom में जाओगे, so there will be one kind of salesman who will come and start bombarding you. Sir, ये best है car ले लो, आप ले लो, discount चल रहा है, ये है, वो है. And the other kind of person who will ask, okay, sir, okay, what kind of family do you have? What kind of usage do you have? How much do you drive? Are you planning to start a family, etc., etc.? So there's a higher chance that you might want to go with the second guy than the first guy, right? So same thing here, that we would want to be their guides and counselors in the truest form. Because like I said earlier, we do not plan to just sell them one course. We do not want them to join one course. We want them to be with us for the next 10 years to 15 years. Right? So when they're starting their journey, which is junior product manager ban raha hai koi, wahan se lekar till they become CPO, we would want them to be with us. Right? And that can only happen if they see us as their family. Yeah, Prashad, you wanted to say something?
No. I'm good. I think it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Prashad, मेरा actually बहुत echo हो रहा है, so yeah, please mute. I don't know why it's echoing at your end, but yeah, it is echoing a lot. Okay. So that is how we plan our communication around acquiring students. How do we acquire? Coming back to the thing, how do we acquire students? We acquire them via LinkedIn. So there's an automation that connects us with relevant students, relevant leads. We speak to them. We try to find out who is interested, who is not. We have about 8,000 to 10,000 leads here, approximately. So the thing is, so far it was only Ayush who was managing admissions for us, only one person. So we have processes, but they're not foolproof. They're not airtight. They're not really they're not reliable at the moment. So one of the few things that we want to do right now is, with all of you coming in, is to make these processes airtight. Okay. So wherever you see that ye nahi ho raha hai, ya this is too problematic, or it would be much easier if we can get data like this, or blah blah blah, please start jotting them down. Okay, please start jotting them down. There's sprints जो मैंने ऊपर बताया. Sprints में आप task बनाना शुरू कर दो, या फिर make a notebook out of that, and we'll start fixing them. It's very important that we all participate and make a process that is airtight, that is extremely awesome. So the LinkedIn is one. Number two is events. So we do online plus offline events. Pareen, if you have also any questions, anything, do let me know. I think you're pretty much sorted in most of the things, but still, if you have anything, please feel free to jump in.
Okay.
Or you can also do one thing. You can keep listening and you can start doing your work, right? And you can jump in wherever you feel you would like to.
I just have internet limited on my phone right now, so I'll do it in some time.
Okay. So there's events which we do online plus offline. Online events are the webinars that we conduct. Offline events are the events like they're typically product roundups or product meetups or something like that. We have done about 4 events in Feb across Bangalore and Delhi. One of them was pretty big with Times Internet, and there'll be more events coming up with Times Internet and few other companies like that. So events, online plus offline, they help us in getting a better, deeper connection. The number of people who come in for events is much lesser, but because there's a personal connect, the chances of conversion is a little higher. Okay.
Just wanted to ask one thing.
Yeah.
So this product meetup, what exactly it is? I mean, so I may be wrong, but is this meetup community wherein you have a group of people? Because there's one online thing called Meetup. It's a community wherein so if you have a certain interest, because it has so someone is interested in say product management or so, is it that kind of?
So Meetup, I'm aware of. So Meetup.com is the one which you're talking about.
Correct.
Right? Meetup, in this context, Meetup means meetup as a English.
So okay.
We do use Meetup.com to manage our groups and organize our groups and stuff. We do that, but at the same time, when I said product meetup, I actually meant a meetup in the literal actual sense.
Right.
Okay. So these events are pretty good. and we plan to actually scale them up. For this, what we are doing is we have opened community chapters in 7 cities across country. Okay. There are a few more chapters coming in London and US, but we have just deferred it कि पहले सोचा कि पहले इंडिया में अच्छे से उसको execute कर लें, then we will replicate the same thing in US. The good thing is in US and UK we have local partners. What I mean by local partners is basically it's a program of community leaders that we have created. So there are community leaders who are who are volunteers to organize community events for us in their cities. They want to be part of the Pragmatic Leaders family. They want to engage with product managers in their locality. So they are the ones who are coming in, training our folks. Sorry, not training, but conducting events for us. Okay. So community leaders in 7 cities, actually not in 7 cities, in 10 cities we have decided. That includes some cities in Africa as well. So that is where we are right now. So 7 cities will get activated this month in March, and I believe another 10 will go live in the next month. Okay. So LinkedIn events, these are 2 large sources of our leads. Number 3 is actually referrals. So current students, past students, friends, refer. And these are like some of the best leads. Obviously, the number of leads that you get from here is far lower, but they are very promising leads. Right? They are more likely to convert. Then comes leads from leads magnet. What is a lead magnet? Actually, leads magnet. What is a lead magnet? Lead magnet is something like interview handbook. So you make a interesting document that people need or people want. Let's say, for example, interview handbook is something that we made recently. It is simply a document of about 20 pages, which covers everything that a person needs to know about product management interviews. Now that document has given us at least 500 leads, 500 or I think 700 leads. That one single document, because people are downloading that document, so they're giving us their emails, their phone numbers, their everything. Yeah. So lead magnet is something that we have started working on again. These the documents, or I should say assets, resources that people need, and give their contact details in exchange. Okay. So lead magnet is another source through which we acquire students. Ayush, am I missing anything?
So, just to add on a few details on lead magnets and referrals, in lead magnets, like T said, that so we conduct a lot of offline events and online events, and many of the folks are very much keen on the presentations that folks like, so they would be part of that lead magnet. We have launched certain books for preparing for interviews or those kind of things. They are the ones. He has taken a lot of efforts into compiling a lot of resources for product managers, aspiring product managers, senior product managers. So those kind of assets are there. We do a lot of events with companies, B2B. We did something with Shell. We did something with Times Internet and other corporates. So those kind of things would be on lead magnets. Referrals, there are 2 parts to it. One is, like T must have covered, that there is a direct referral basis. If they are students already, they can go about referring, and there is a different format to it where they get a direct $100 discount. There is a For non-academy folks, there is a $75 discount for every referral that they make. So for the students who join in, as well as the one who is referring. So yeah, these are the 2 things. On the acquisition, I guess T has covered on the ads that we do on LinkedIn and various tools that we use on LinkedIn. Plus, we do ads on platforms like YouTube, Google, and Facebook.
Correct. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, are there as well, but they are usually they are largely being used for distribution of our lead magnets, and also talking about our testimonials and success stories. They're largely being used for that. Right. So some leads come from here also. Then there are free courses that we have set up on our site. That's another source for leads. Then we have a job board, right? So people come for job board quite a lot. What we have done is we have someone in our team who takes care of posting, basically aggregating jobs from different sources and putting them in one place. And people come in to apply for those jobs. That gives us resumes. That gives us also the interest and the desperation of people. So there are people who are very, very desperate, who are like applying to 10 jobs, 20 jobs in one go. Yeah. So those people obviously will be a very prime candidate for, let's say, for the interview course, right? Depending on what kind of profile they have, right? So if somebody is at the same time, if somebody's resume is not of a product manager and he's applying for product management job, then that person is a prime candidate for your PPL bootcamp, right? So that job board is another source of our leads. So putting all of these together, there are a few others, but like so there's community as well, there's WhatsApp groups, etc. But all in all put together, we have about 16,000 leads approximately at the moment that we can process across the LinkedIn channels that we have and the leads that are on CRM. Obviously, some of them are very, very active. Some of them are not at all active, and we have not engaged with them. We have also done a shoddy job at engaging with them. Let me be very honest here, and that's the reason we are all of you are here now to get us out of our shoddiness. Okay, so how do we acquire students? We do it via this. How do we sell the courses? Right? Main मुद्दे की बात कि आप लोग दिन भर करोगे क्या? What does the process look like? Right? So I'm going to give you a very high level overview because Ayush will give you a little more deeper download on what exactly happens and how it happens. It's a rather simple job, and okay, there is an ideal process and there's a process that we follow right now. Okay, and we plan to get to the ideal process by the end of this month. Like by the end of this month, it should be absolutely, absolutely clear as to what's the right way to run the leads. So currently, the way we sell the leads is sell the courses, or we engage with our customers is. One second, I'll just make my phone white. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So so how do we sell the courses? How do we engage with our leads? Very simple. We reach out to them. That is, once they have shown interest by either applying to the course. That I actually forgot the main method of acquiring students, which is applying to the course via admissions or the application form. Okay. So once people have shown interest via LinkedIn or one of these sources, once they have shown interest, they have put in their details, sent us the resume, or have done something. Number one, we ask them to share their LinkedIn or CV, whatever is the latest, because we want to check whether the person is actually suitable for the course or not. Number one, once that is done, then we send them a Calendly link to schedule a call with us. Okay. The call happens between, till now it used to happen only with Ayush, but now on, all of you will get very soon in that position to take up these calls. These are counseling calls. These are not sales calls. These are counseling calls. The idea is to understand this person's background, number one. Number two, provide all the answers to this person's query about how the course is run, how the course works, can the course help me, and whether the course outcomes are, this is something that we are trying to assess as well, whether the course outcomes are aligned with this person's expectations, with this person's career goals, basically. So course outcomes. Okay. So that is what we do on the call. We try, okay, not just try, but and we have rejected people. We have said no to. Yeah. So we document that. We create a follow up. Typically, there's a email sequence that we have, but we have not been following that very much, which we will start following up from now. So there's an email sequence that helps to nurture people out. These email sequences are designed to keep the engagement high, keep the momentum high, and let the right candidates, it basically tries to filter out the right candidates, and it removes all the wrong candidates. Okay. So after the call is done, few follow-up calls or emails will happen, because a person will ask, for example, payment details, or will ask for success stories, or will ask for something. So you can share that, followed by a couple of other calls, and then a final call will happen, or final email will be sent. The bootcamp is starting in the next 2 weeks, or next 1 week, or next 3 days. So if you want to join in, this is the time. Otherwise, you will have to defer it. You'll have to wait for another couple of months for the next cohort to kick off. Yeah. So that is how broadly how the course selling works. Now, exactly what scripts kya hai, what is the persona, and how to use CRM, etc., etc. All of those details are something that Ayush will take you through. Okay. Ayush?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think before we go any further, I think it's been what, 1.5 hours roughly that they have been listening to us.
Yeah.
So that is too much again in one go. थोड़ा सा break देके ना, we can kick off the process flow for the sales part. I think we have designed a couple of flows, right?
Yeah.
So there.
Yeah.
Right. So you can take them through that flow. Number one. Number two, the CRM.
Yeah.
Again, low on, like एक दिन में expert नहीं बनाना है, right? So just tell them about CRM, that these are the things, and immediately give them like couple of leads to just take them through that action.
Yeah.
You know, ये होता है, यहाँ पे आपको leads के data दिख रहे हैं, ये sales IT को data दिख रहा है, वगैरह वगैरह. And followed by, this is where you can update the status of the lead, blueprint दिखा दो, वगैरह वगैरह.
Yeah.
Followed by the scripts can be shared. Some of the scripts that we have created. Okay, the scripts are in work in progress, as always. They're work in progress, so there are scripts, but we are improving them. We are working on them, and feedback and everything is most welcome. Right? Anything that I'm missing here? Scripts.
Take them reporting as well.
Sorry?
Reporting.
Yes, daily reporting. Right. Okay. I'm obviously forgetting about the most critical thing: products. What are the products? बेच क्या रहे हैं? तो भूल गए. Okay. ठीक है. So you can take them through this through these things, and let me know whenever if and when I'm needed.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Prashad and Neha, please, if you have any questions right now, please feel free to ask. Sorry, Neha?
Yeah, I have one question. Am I echoing still, or is it clear? Am I audible, Talvinder?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, great. So one question is, you mentioned a very important point that aligning, the person's interest with his expectation with his outcome in terms of job or the transition, what he wants to make, and there is a parameter in which you say that you're fit or you're unfit. Now, is it technically done, or is it based on certain instinct? There is a board or a respective person who decides whether this person is eligible or not to go forward to the program.
Very good question. So the way this has happened so far is because it is just me and Ayush. So it was like we kind of understood whether the person is right or whether the person is suitable or not based on his pedigree and based on his expectation from the course. Right, the kind of questions a person is asking, based on that, it is not that difficult to actually figure out who is the right fit and who is not right fit. But given that now the team has expanded, we in fact Ayush has already worked on that. So there is a we are going to score. So whosoever is going to interview, it's essentially going to be a selection committee or selection team of sorts. So whosoever is doing the interviews, for example, Prashad, you will be speaking to some candidates. Neha, you will be speaking to candidates. All of us will be speaking to candidates, right? One time or the other. I'm also involved in admissions, like as a proper counselor. Right. So when we're doing that, uske baad, there is going to be certain parameters on which you have to rate that candidate. Okay, and basis that we can determine whether the person is selected or not. We want to bring in that kind of rigor in our admissions going forth. Okay, that the candidate is selected or rejected, and a corresponding selection email and a rejection email is sent to that person. Okay, right now we are not sending those emails as such, although we do inform them whether you are rejected or you are selected. Yeah, but there is not a. I mean, this process is not clearly outlined.
Okay. Yeah, that's clear. Thanks.
So there is an objective. Basically, there are a certain set of objective parameters. Just to answer your question, there are a set of objective parameters against which we rate the candidate. We consider, the pedigree. We consider, can the course actually help him switch. For example, somebody's English is not really good. For example, in that case, today we are not in a position to actually, transition him. For example. Right? Because most of the startups would expect a person with very good command on oral and written English. As a product manager, that's documentation is like a core part of your entire existence. So if you're not good with that, then sorry, आपको मैं suggest करूँगा कि please आप जाओ अपने English सुधारो and you get comfortable with your English and whatever communication skills and stuff. Then you come back and we will help you. But 3 महीने के अंदर आपको product management भी सिखाऊँ और साथ में communication भी ठीक सिखाऊँ, वो possible नहीं है. Right. So that is what we have done so far.
Sure.
Prasad, just to add on to that side, like you said, so we have 16 parameters so far, basis which we do that. It's done in two forms. So first is like he said that there is a LinkedIn profile that we collect and a CV or a CV, and basis which we do a passive admission scoring, with basis which we share the scholarship or any other benefit that we want to offer to them. And after that, we can, like T said, we have a program counseling that's done, basis which we assess their interest and various other things that we want to judge while we are giving all the details about the program. And it is followed up by two other counseling calls. One is for the course counseling, which helps them to understand and kind of custom plan their learning thing. That what are the topics that they're really already there, and what are the topics that they need a little deep diving in. So that is done by Sonia for the course counseling, and for the career counseling for understanding their so far taken career paths, what are the various options that generally folks take in from the career paths that they are coming in, and understanding their aspiration and giving them options of how we can help. That's done by Sarika as the placement team head. So that is the order. So like I said, that it is a mix of digitized thing, which we already have those 16 parameters in place. Only thing, like he said, that it is not automated and it's not there in the part of the CRM. But while the person who is speaking, if it is either me or T or going forth, you would be there. So you would be using those documents to kind of check mark that where they are in that passive scoring mechanism. Similarly, while you're talking to them in the program counseling side of it, there is another form that we have created, which you're going to use to assess on various soft skills, like we said, that communication. So various other skills that we want to assess them while we are pitching the program to them and doing the counseling for them. And similarly is for the course counseling, similarly is for the career counseling. So after all this is done, there is a aggregate score for all the prospects that are coming in, and that actually helps us pick the right folks who are going to be part of the academy, because our only asset is the student and their success. And if they are like not the brightest, then it kind of affects our brand. So this is how we have figured out the admission process. On papers, it is there. In practice, it is somewhat there. If you are asking for the automation, no, automation is not done. But soon, in a week or two time, like we said, that by end of the month, we would be optimizing all this. And once you all are, kind of getting the hang of the process and ready with understanding of the scripts and the various personas and how we getting and kind of counsel them or screen them or give them the seats into various cohorts, that should be there in place. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah.
So Ayush, you can perhaps take them through, give them a break, and then you can take them through the CRM scripts, the daily reporting, and the products.
Perfect. Okay. So let's take close to 15 to 20 minutes of break, and we come back around by 12:15 or so. What do you guys want to do? 12 is fine? 15 minutes thing?
Yeah, that's good. That's good for me.
Neha, how about you?
I'm fine.
Perfect.
12, 15, right?
Let's do it 12:15. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you have the link of the experience.io page. There are four programs, permanent programs. You can spend some time on that. Or yeah, 12:15 we connect back and I'll talk to you.
Okay, great.
Perfect. Let's connect. Bye bye, guys.
All right.